This is going to be Real Talk episode 60. Basically, in my Real Talks, I just say anything I want. I talk about whatever I want. I'll have a topic I want to discuss, and I'll just go in whatever direction. I'll usually try to stick to the topic, but if I have other things to talk about, that's what the point of the Real Talks are. If I want to focus on a specific topic, I'll have a video specifically centered on that topic, and I'll have a thumbnail dedicated to it. That's why I usually post my logo on these Real Talks, because it's a general discussion. But I do have, usually a topic that I want to discuss. And in this Real Talk, I'm going to be talking about Trump, the Iran war, the illegal immigrants, haters of the U.S. that are actually living within the U.S., aliens, as in aliens from outer space, and also, to bring it all together, what's really going on in the world, right? Like, why are all these things happening? Because that's something that people don't really get. And when I say people, I mean like the average person. I'd say 99% of the Earth's population doesn't know what the fuck's going on. That's the truth. If you watch every video on this channel, you'll have a good general understanding of what's happening in the world. All the things that I talk about are in your face. Anyone can see these things if they choose to, but most people choose to ignore these things. And that's the issue that I see going on in the world, is that people don't really want to see the real truth. They'd rather stick their head in the sand and ignore what's happening, because they think that basically by ignoring all the evils of the world, things are going to get better, right? Now, me personally, and I've touched on these things in the past, I've had a rough life, I would say. And I've had personal issues even while I was making videos, and even with some of the viewers that I've had. But, for the most part, in my current situation, things are looking up. I would say my life is a lot better than it was 6 months ago. That's why I really haven't been making too many videos, is because I don't want to say enjoying my life, but I've been trying to set my life up for the rest of my life, if that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to point in a certain direction and just go straight, instead of worrying about doing this, that, or the other thing, right? And YouTube now to me is more of a hobby, if anything else. It's something that in the past I really took serious, and I'm not saying I'm never going to take serious again. As a matter of fact, that's always my intention, is to eventually take YouTube serious and give you guys a lot of content. But this is the reality. All the things I've already discussed and everything I've already said, it's like beating a dead horse, right? There's not much more I can tell you guys. There are things I can tell you, but if you're not getting the things I've already said, and I'm not talking about my subscribers, because clearly if you're subscribed, that means you understand what's going on. You're one of the people that I'm not talking about. You're the very few, right? The 1%. You're different. But most people that are living on Earth, and let's just say a random human comes across my videos, they watch it, they don't subscribe, they don't support it, they don't want to watch anything else, they don't understand what I'm saying. They might even disagree and might even get upset about the things I say. Those people, there's so many of those people in this world. And I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't know how to reach those people, because I can already reach the people that know what's going on. And if you already know what's happening, I'm preaching to the choir, right? Like, I'm just telling the people that already know what's going on. So it's like, what's the point of that? I'm trying to wake up the people that don't know what's going on. And the sad reality of humans is that they don't like to be told that they're wrong. They don't like to be corrected. They don't like to be put in their place. As I said earlier, they don't want to hear the real truth. They want to live in this blissful ignorance for the rest of their lives until they die, or until something confronts them head on, and then they can't ignore it, right? Then they wake up. But by the time that happens, it's too late. They end up either dying or suffering some horrible fate. But long story short, we're in a world that is imprisoned by evil. The ones that control the world, which I call the evil ones, because people try to get into this labeling game of it's these aliens, it's these demons, it's this religion, it's this group, it's the I've heard people say it's certain ethnic groups on earth. Some people think it's the Jews, some people think it's the Muslims, this, that, and the other. There are always these groups that people think are running the world, right? Instead of me trying to sift through all of that, which there's no point, honestly, there's no point in going and trying to separate all those people. I just put them all into the evil category. Meaning, if you're one of the people that's controlling the world, regardless of your ethnicity or what race or what alien species you come from or whatever, I just put you in the evil category. That's why I call them the evil ones, right? You don't need to know what planet they came from, what they look like. You don't need to know none of that. It's irrelevant. What you need to know is, are they harmful to humans or not? Are they beneficial for your life or not? That's all you need to know. If they're not good for you, they're evil, period. End of story. You don't need more information than that. That's why I don't go so deep into those topics. I could break down everything, but what's the point? Especially when people don't even understand the basic things that I'm talking about on this planet. That's why I only have 765 subscribers. I put out hundreds of videos on multiple channels, not just this channel, and on different media platforms. And the most I can do is 765 over how many years have I been doing this? 5 years plus. So it gets to a point where it gets old, right? And repetitive. And I run out of things to say, or I run out of motivation, because I'm like, who am I really helping? And who really wants to hear what I have to say, right? So without further ado, now that I said all of that, let me talk about the topics that I want to talk about. First topic is going to be Donald Trump and the Iran war. I'm going to kind of combine those two things, even though they're kind of separate topics, but not really. So I made a video like this year, I believe, I think in January, where I said, was I wrong about Trump? The reason why I made that video is because a lot of the things that he was doing at the time, I agreed with, right? But I always, in the back of my mind, and I think I even said it in that video, I always believe that these people are all fake. All the politicians, all the celebrities, all these people that are in the media and on TV and all these news networks and yada, yada, yada. I think they're all fake, right? I think it's all state. I think the whole world is fake, to be honest. I honestly think I'm the only real person. If I'm being really real with all of you, I truly believe I'm the only real person on earth. I think everybody else is fake. That's how I really feel. However, I try to give the benefit of the doubt to some people, because if I just stick to what I truly believe, then what does that do to me? That puts me in the ultimate state of solitude, and I'm basically by myself, right? Not just on earth, but in the entire universe. That's how I really feel. You guys can say whatever you want. That's how I really feel. It is what it is. But anyways, so Trump, I try to give some kind of credit. And I try to say, all right, this guy has some kind of morals and ways of doing things that are similar to the way I would do things. But if I'm going to be really honest with you guys, I would be way more brutal than Trump. If I was like running the world or in charge of the US or whatever, I'm way more brutal. And I'll explain how. So you see how at this current time, as of the 12th of April, 2026, they were trying to discuss a ceasefire with Iran and trying to make this whole, let's try to figure it out, right? Let's try to stop fighting and killing, yada, 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 right? First of all, he waited a long time before he actually went to attack Iran, right? So he was talking about all these things that he was going to do to Iran. He let a lot of people in Iran get killed by the Iranian regime, right? The Iranian government killed a bunch of people that were protesting the government because they thought Trump was going to come and help them. after all those people died, then Trump decides to go in, right? Now we're going to go in and take down these evil oppressors, right? Here's the problem. Besides how long he took to get to start doing this, because I'm going to tell you guys the truth. If it was me, I'd take over the entire world, or I'd try to. If I was the president, that's what I would try to do. I don't believe in all these countries. I don't believe in all these governments. I don't believe in all these politicians, dictators, kings, queens, all this bullshit. I don't believe in it. I don't think the world needs so many countries and governments. All it does is cause literally wars. What I'm talking about right now. That's all it does. All these governments, cultures, religions, all this shit causes wars and fighting. Then you have the people at the top like Trump and the dictators and yada, yada, yada who don't like each other. Then they start trying to kill the population. They don't even fight each other. Like Trump's not fighting the Ayatollah or anything like that. He's sending in troops. And, you know, so far it's been decent in terms of the United States not having too many losses. But yet and still, even if one person died on the United States side, Trump sent them over there to die. Same thing with Iran. They just have their whole population dying, whether it's military, whether it's the civilian population that they're killing themselves, whether it's accidental bombings from Israel in the United States that's killing the civilian, whatever the case is, a whole bunch of people are dying, right? It's the same thing with Ukraine and Russia, right? And on and on. Any war you've ever thought of in the history of mankind. It's always these rulers, dictators, and leaders at the top that send their populations to die when they hardly ever suffer any consequence for what they do, unless they lose the war, right? Then they get captured and then they get killed, whatever. But initially, they're just telling people to go and die. So back to the Iran war. So he takes so long to get there to do anything. Then he finally does something. Now they're talking about a ceasefire. The Iranian people, supposedly, according to Trump and the US government, are waiting to be liberated from this regime. Why is there even a conversation about peace talks or about ceasefires, about any of that? Trump was bragging about the technology that Israel and the United States have, which I truly believe they have way more advanced technology than they're saying. But they were talking about how they can track these people and know where they are, all the leadership in Iran and all of that. Okay, so get rid of the motherfuckers. Now they're talking about, oh, JD Vance went over there, couldn't work out a peace deal or whatever, and now it's falling apart. No shit. These people are fucking terrorists. They just want to kill people. If you don't agree with their psychotic religious ideology, they want to kill you, including their own people. That's why I don't believe in religions, because religion, any religion, doesn't matter which religion you believe in, when you take it to the ultimate extreme max of being a zealot, that's the end result. Iran is the end result of any religion. That's how I feel about it. At least the major religions, right? I'm sure there's smaller religions that aren't as psychotic, but regardless, the major religions, if you really follow them through to the end, you have people that think they're speaking for God, that think they know what God wants, according to whatever dumb book they're reading. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to act in place of God, and I'm going to decide who gets to live and who dies. Those are the psychos that believe in religion. And as I've said before, religion doesn't make you a good person. There are just good people that just so happen to become religious, because the good morals or whatever they find in religion that's good to them attracts them to the religion. So they think, okay, this is my calling. This is what I need to do. When in reality, they're just a good person with or without the religion. They just like the morals of the religion, so they go with it. Religion didn't make that person good. If that was the case, then why are there so many evil people that are religious? If religions are so magical that they just can transform you into a good person, there should never be one single person that's evil that's religious. You know why? Because religions don't make you a good person. Period. That's how it works. You're either a good person or you're not. That's the world you live in. All these people that pretend to follow some faith because they think that makes them good, they're fake as fuck. And to me, some of them are even more evil, the pacifists, and I'll tell you why. Because they're contributing to the ignorance that keeps the world in the state that it's in, which is constant conflict. That's why I don't like those people that are religious, because you're not teaching people the real truth, and it's just causing more chaos by you believing in something that other people don't agree with. And then you're trying to force other people to believe in that shit. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. Period. Not everything, but most of it. And it's all made and has been created to control the earth population. That's all that religions are for. But anyways, so you have these people in Iran that are waiting to be liberated. And Trump is talking about a fucking ceasefire. You should have nuked that fucking country. You should have already got rid of. If you don't want to nuke them, cool. Get rid of every single person that's in the leadership until there's nobody left in the leadership. There's no more government. There's no more IRGC or whatever you want to call it. No, all those people need to die. That's it. And replace them with whatever puppet government that Trump wants to put in there. Because that's what's going to happen. That's going to be the end result. So all this ceasefire and all this nonsense that's going on in between the end of the war and the beginning of the war is stupid. Because all it's doing is delaying the inevitable. It's causing the Iranian people to suffer more. They're the ones that are the true victims of what's happening. And all Trump is doing is gloating and putting this pompous act of, look how great I am, look what I'm doing. Again, he's a fake motherfucker, like I said before. Just like everybody else. I have a quote on my Twitter, and I've been becoming more active on Twitter. You might want to go check out my Twitter because I'm probably going to use it more. But I have a quote on there or something where I said, everyone is fake, including the people that you think are the realest people. Everyone. I see people supporting all these people they think are real or legitimate, whatever. They're all fake people. They're just bullshitting you. I'm literally the only real motherfucker you're ever going to know. I'm the only real motherfucker on this planet. I'm certain of that. The more I learn, the more I study, the more I see, the more I realize the real truth, which is I'm the only real motherfucker. It is what it is. And I'm trying to tell you guys the real truth. I'm not trying to bullshit you or trying to make myself seem better than anybody. A lot of the things I say actually don't make me look good at all. It makes me look crazy. If anything, people think I'm crazy or they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Or you're just saying random shit. But everything I'm saying is the real truth. Everything I've ever said on this channel is the real truth. I've never lied to you guys about anything. Anything I say, you can verify if you do your due diligence, if you really do the research, if you really want to know what I'm talking about. Or if you ask me and you can't figure out how to get the information, you will get the answers you're seeking. And you will see the real truth, just like I have seen it. But do you guys want to do that? I don't know. So now let me talk about a different subject. This is kind of hand in hand also, where I'm going to talk about illegal immigrants and haters of the United States, right? As I said before, I don't believe in any country, not even the United States. However, I realize I'm on Earth and it's full of countries, and it's not going to change anytime soon. The only way this is going to change is if every country slowly but surely over time dissolves. And if I had to pick a country, as corrupt as it is, that is the best of all the countries, clearly the United States is the best country. So, especially as an American citizen, what do I want to happen in the world? I want the United States to control the whole fucking world. That's what I want. What I don't want is the corrupt people that are running the government or the country right now to be in power. How to fix that is a whole nother subject. It's like, that's a whole ordeal on its own. But as we stand, as the world stands today, if I had to choose a country that I would want to control everything, it would be the United States. I don't understand how anybody inside of the United States that doesn't know all the shit that I know about how the world really works, how you can be against the United States. I don't understand it at all. And if you really feel that way, you should leave. Find a way the fuck out of here. I'm pretty certain that the United States is not like China or these other countries where they try to capture their population or enslave them or force them to stay in the country and don't let you leave unless you meet all these crazy criteria. The United States is pretty free in terms of letting people leave. No one's keeping your ass here. If you don't like the United States, get the fuck out. That's how I feel about it. And I'm not, like I said before, I don't even believe in countries. But if I had to choose and I had to say how I really feel about the current situation and how much I see people hating the United States, the people that hate the United States are my enemy. They are a cancer, not just to the country, but to the whole entire world. Their ideas, the way they think, the way they do things, I don't want that shit anywhere near me. And a lot of the places that they support, like Iran or whatever, and I'm talking about leftists, right? If you go over there with those ideals, they'll kill your ass instantaneously. You won't even last one day. But you're supporting Iran, you're supporting all these crazy terrorist groups that will kill you in a second. But you're hating the United States, who's allowing you to be free and to let you be the hater that you are? It makes no fucking sense. I can't stand those retarded ass dumb motherfuckers. They don't deserve breath. That's all I'm going to say. I wish the United States would send their asses over there. Just force their asses to go. And take all your illegal immigrant motherfuckers with you. Take all the people that came in here illegally with you. Again, I don't even believe in countries. But unfortunately, the state of the world where we're at right now, I live in the United States. I don't want illegal motherfuckers coming over here and taking my shit. Taking my money, taking my services, making my life harder so that they can live for free. I served in the military, right? I'm a veteran. I see illegal motherfuckers that can barely speak English living in a much better house than me, having much better cars and everything. Their lives are way better off, and they're not doing a goddamn thing but scamming the government. If I tried to scam the government, my ass would be in jail. Yet you have these illegal motherfuckers that come from overseas that are being let in by the Democrats who can just come in here and become rich overnight. Not overnight, but over time, over scamming the government, and nothing is done about it. They're getting support from the Democrats. Again, I don't even know why there's a Democrat Party. We should just send all the Democrats to Somalia or to Iran or somewhere. Get rid of all those people completely. Send them with their illegal immigrant friends. Because all they're doing is destroying the United States. I live in this country. I don't want it to be destroyed by these parasites. That's how I feel. And I don't even believe in countries. So if I feel that way, everybody else should feel that fucking way that lives in the US. That's how I feel. So now, let's go on to the next topic. This one's kind of also a dual topic. I was trying to separate everything in the title where I was like, this topic, this topic, this topic. But in reality, these two things go hand in hand, which is aliens and what's really going on. Okay? Let me explain to you guys something. This world is controlled by evil entities, aliens, extraterrestrials, whatever you want to call them. They're not from Earth. They're evil. They want to hurt humanity. By hurt, I mean enslave, kill, eat, use as a tool for their benefit. Whatever you want to consider that's detrimental to you as a human, these aliens want to do to you. Those are the ones that control the world. That's why the world is in chaos. That's why you have all these wars, all this killing, all these countries, separations, languages, cultures. They created all of that. That's why when I see stupid ass motherfuckers talking about, oh, I'm proud of my country or my culture in Africa. I'm proud of my culture in China, or wherever the fuck you're from. It's not your culture. You didn't create it. Somebody gave you that culture. All those things that were created in the past in ancient history, the pyramids and all of that shit, that was not human. That was given to humans by aliens, by extraterrestrials. They gave you all of that information. They gave you all of that knowledge. They gave you all of those structures and all those things to worship them, like the statues of Easter Island and all this stuff, right? They gave you all these things to worship them, to leave their mark on this planet, to say we were here. And then you have retarded ass humans who don't know any better, who are just giving their power to these aliens to power them up even more. Because that's what you're doing when you're worshiping and praying and supporting and celebrating their culture, dancing around like retards, doing all this piercing and all this tattoos and all this weird shit that you guys do. All that shit you're doing, you're basically branding yourself as a vessel of energy that's deliberately transferring your essence to these aliens. You're doing it purposely without knowing you're doing it on purpose. That's how retarded you dumb motherfuckers are. Think about what I just said. You're doing it purposely without knowing you're doing it on purpose. That's what you guys are doing. You're sending all your energy to these evil motherfuckers, and they're taking that energy, turning it right back on you, and using it to control your ass and keep everybody else enslaved, including myself. Because I'm here with you dumb motherfuckers. So I have to deal with the same shit you do. Until we all free ourselves. Sadly, I'm part of this humanity. We're fucked. We can't do shit. We're going to be living in this situation where there's wars and killing and violence and all this nonsense. You guys complain about all this shit that's happening in the world, yet you propagate it and you make it happen when you have the power to stop it. But not a goddamn one of you is doing anything about it. Not one of you. I've not seen one of you do anything to fix this fucking world. That's why I say I'm the only real motherfucker, because I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to wake you dumb motherfuckers up, but none of you fuckers are listening. You just cry and complain and bitch about all the problems, and you don't do shit about it. Nothing. And then here I am telling your dumb ass what's going on. And what do? You get upset with the things I say, and you try to come at me, the person that's trying to help your dumb ass. How retarded is that? I'm trying to free you, and you're fucking throwing shit at me. Because you're a retarded ass fucking monkey. You belong in the zoo. That's how I feel about humans. Humans are retarded animals. You don't deserve to be freed. But here I am. Because I'm stuck in the same situation with you motherfuckers. So I have to free myself. And in turn, by freeing myself, I'm trying to free you dumb fucks. But are you going to do anything? Are you going to listen? Or are you just going to say, oh, I agree with what he's saying. And that's the end of the conversation, right? That's the end of it. You think you won the game? You didn't win shit. It's the same thing with religions, right? You guys give up your power to Jesus and God. Oh, he died on the cross for me. Yada, yada. All this bullshit you guys believe, right? You know what that does? It makes you irresponsible. It takes any responsibility from you and you give it to somebody else. You put it on somebody else and say, well, they'll do it for me. I don't have to do anything. That's the problem with you dumb fucking humans. You don't want to do shit. You want everybody to do it for you, but you don't want to do it yourself. Anyways, I said enough. I think you guys get the point. I do have a lot more things I want to talk about. I'll probably make more videos about it. And this is why I don't make videos anymore, because look how upset I get. This is not a fun topic. None of the things I talk about are fun. I could be an entertainer. I could just sit here and bullshit all day. I could just stream all day. I have plenty of time. My life is much better than it was before. I could do whatever the fuck I want. So I could sit here all day and just stream to you dumb motherfuckers if I wanted to. That's how good my life is right now. I could do whatever I want. But what's the point of that? Just to make you guys feel good when nothing is getting done? I don't know. Maybe I will do that just because I'm bored. Not because I want to, but because I have nothing better to do, right? I could do other things. But what's the point? Look at the world we live in. I don't even want to see you guys or interact with you guys. That's how I feel. Yet I'm still putting out this content and trying to make shit happen. And I'm not talking about the real ones that understand me. I'm not talking about the real people that actually get what I'm saying. You guys are excluded from all the shit I'm saying. So if you're a subscriber or a supporter, you're not who I'm talking to. I know you guys already understand what's happening. I'm talking about everybody else. But anyways, if you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can. Consider donating to my Patreon. Consider following me on Twitter and the other social media platforms. I am getting more active on Twitter a little bit because I'm having random things pop up on my timeline. And I'm just like, I need to say something about this. But anyways, if you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can. Hit the notification bell. See you guys in the next video. Take care.